I am Johnny Massacre, and welcome to the cheekiest of cheeky live streams, number 108 to be exact. This is a place where, quite simply, the brief is to be excellent to one another, like Bill and Ted said. This is my vlog. I'm a rapper, music producer, DJ, and YouTuber living in Tokyo, Japan, and tonight is a very special night. Yes, it is my 40th birthday. I have reached level 40, so I'd like to celebrate it with you. This is really what I wanted to do, celebrate with the crew that I knew from way back, dude. So thank you for joining me, everybody. Please feel free to leave a comment and we chat about anything you like, really. It could be philosophical, it could be even quasi-intellectual, it could be about anything. I think today we're not going to get too political and we're going to keep it lighthearted and fun and just have a little chat. I'm feeling a little bit worse for wear, and I've got some great stories for you from deepest, darkest Tokyo. I went to some dark, wild underground places this weekend. Places that people in Tokyo don't even know about and haven't heard about. I went outside of Tokyo to a place called Osaka, into the most dangerous area apparently of Japan, and found some very crazy stuff. So I'm 40 years old, level 40, mate. It took a while to reach level 40 and it feels beautiful and wonderful. I want to start the show by eating a Wagyu steak. It's probably not the right time to do this, but I've got to eat it. I'm 4 years old, right? I can eat what I want. He eats what he wants. He eats what he wants. 40th birthday, he eats what he wants, and I want to eat a Wagyu steak. I've actually stuffed myself already, and I realised that I had bought this. I fell asleep on my sofa after the heavy weekend, and I woke up and I found the steak staring at me. Room temperature, perfect timing and temperature to cook this thing. So you're going to get a little bit of bonus AMSR of British man in Japan eating a Wagyu steak. Here we go. Not gonna lie, shit's pretty good. Woo, that shit's pretty good. It's not really rare inside. It's hard to get this medium rare because it's so thin. It just like cooks as soon as it hits the pan. If you're feeling generous and you want to give me a boost, you can always donate at streamlabs.com/Johnny Massacre. There's the link. It's live in the chat box pinned. It's in the description box. If you donate, I'll read your comment out live and you'll get a nice animated GIF here and we'll all be happy, won't we? It is Sunday, the 19th of March, 2023. Oh, Lord. Richard, I see you in the comments. Well, happy to see you. Richard says, I'm getting a McDonald's. Are you, bruv? You getting a cheeky Macca's, bruv? I see. What's on the menu for you, Richard? What's on the McDonald's menu? Are you going out to get it? Oh, I see the chat box. Chat box is fired up. This is pretty salty. I've got a thing where I oversalt stuff. Feel free to tell us what you're up to on this very special day. It's not just about me. It's also about you. Really, you are the stars of the show. I know people associate YouTube with narcissism and it's me. And this is my vlog, so I do talk about myself. And you kind of have to when you don't get input from other people. But really, the best live streams are ones where you tell me what you're doing. And we have a chit chat about things. Richard, he's always got some wicked content. I haven't seen Richard about recently. Where have you been, Richard? You are missed. What a week it's been. Richard says, I just got a Marley American Bulldog. I will insta you a picture in a sec. You got a dog? Man, I'd love to have a dog. I'd love to have one. But my apartment's too small. Jesus Christ, mate. Wagyu steak. Mate, Whole Foods in Japan. You got to love it. You got to love it. Lord of mercy. Oh shit. See, the thing with Wagyu steak, you can't really eat that much because even me, the biggest glutton in the world, can't eat that much Wagyu steak. Tasty. Mwah. Mwah. Happy birthday, Alan Wright says, Johnny. Happy birthday. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. Had a nice chat with my dad earlier today. Nearly brought me to tears. It was so beautiful. My dad, he was a drummer when he was a teenager, and he gave it up to raise me, and he started a band. He's 68, coming on 69 this year, and he started a band last year, and last night there were 150 people turned up. Apparently smashed it. He sent me a video, I'll show you that later. And he said there's a couple of youngsters in the crowd, like early 20s, and they made the effort to come up to him after the gig and just said, "You the drummer, you were fucking amazing." And my dad keeps saying, look, the whole reason that it could work is we just don't want to be famous. We don't give a shit. And that means they probably will be famous. I don't know what it is about my dad, but I have so much confidence in him. Anything he puts his mind to, I just think he's going to do it. I don't know why, but I associate my dad's potential, if you will, and yeah, his potential with other kind of people of his era that were successful. So I remember watching a making of Star Wars, and George Lucas is sitting there with his head down, and they're writing shit and they're planning shit, and there's a whole team of people. And I don't know, that the kind of boomer generation, when the intellectual ones, the smart ones, when they put their mind to something methodically, they just get it done. You just know they're going to make it work. And I think my dad's he's in that bracket. And so I just thought, yeah, if he wants to be in a band, he's going to make it work. My dad's smart. He's very, very sociable. I really admire the way he can speak to absolutely anyone. I've never seen my dad lost for words. And usually people who are not lost for words, they're quite imposing, or not, maybe not imposing. They're very extroverted, and sometimes they're a little bit loud or whatever. But my dad's a gentleman, and he's the most sociable guy, but in an effortless way. And I really admire that about him. I've never met someone who doesn't like my dad. And yeah, people just really admire the way he's so friendly and chatty. And you put that in a social scene, like a music scene, that's going to help you along the way, right? Making connections and stuff. And my dad's retired. He used to do a lot of contract work, so he's good with negotiating. He used to negotiate contracts in the music with people in the music industry. He worked in the publishing industry, so he's got a lot of experience that can help him make his band work. So I do wonder if my dad's going to become famous. That would be rather fun, would it not? So I had a good chat with him. That really bookended the birthday nicely. And this is the last thing I'm doing for my birthday, is chatting with you lot. This is really what I wanted to do, to be honest. It's 11:17 now, and we got 43 minutes left of my birthday. So that's your daily dose of ASMR, Wagyu steak and water. Ooh, filtered tap water. I do need a bit of water after this weekend. Jim Morrison's bathtub in Japanese says, Omedeto. Thank you so much, Mr. Jim. I haven't seen you for a bit. How are you? Mark Hatfield says, making barbecue ribs and smoked buck balls. That's some mad protein, bruv. You're going to be ripped tomorrow, won't you? So, wow. I'm going to give my mum a call a bit later. I haven't spoke to her yet. My brother sent me a really funny message, and I did like this. This is vintage brother stuff. Hero X says, happy birthday, mate. Thank you so much. That means a hell of a lot, Hero X. My brother said, I hope you have a great birthday, bro. Enjoy being as old as dad always seemed in my head. Haha, I like that. I know exactly what he means when he says that. So that was quite funny. I got one from my auntie as well. And my auntie said, happy birthday, Johnny. Best wishes. Have a great time. Love and miss you. Oh, it's so sweet. And the person who always sends me the first Christmas message or birthday message is my other auntie, my British auntie. That's my German auntie. And she had a good one. She said, dear Johnny, another year, another birthday. I'm hoping yours is a very happy one. And that all's going well for you. Oh, Hero says Arsenal game is on now. Arsenal, don't let me down. You can't lose on my 40th birthday. Arsenal. My auntie said, what's the score? Happy birthday, mate, says Phil PhD. Thank you, mate. It means a lot. This is already the best birthday. Most Saturdays I meet up with your dad for footy, which is nice. But today he's taking a mate on my ticket. Brentford are doing amazingly well this year, I have to say. So big birthday wishes and loads of love, as always, from your wicked aunt. Thanks, auntie. Mark says, I had some of the best years of my life in my 40s. My dad said that 40 to 50 goes insanely quickly. He says time speeds up. He says, I don't know how long it felt for you to go from 30 to 40. For me, it took fucking forever. 30 to 40 feels like about 100 years. It feels mad fast. It feels like I've been alive forever. It does, like some people say it goes fast. It doesn't feel fast to me. Doesn't feel fast to me, but not in a bad way. Yeah, so my aunt supports Brentford, and she was going to see them when they were way down, like two or three leagues below the Premier League they're in now. Now they're doing really well. And I said, thanks so much, Auntie. You're always the first for well wishes. Thanks so much. I didn't know you see Dad that much. That's great to hear. Makes me glad. Yeah, Brentford finally came good, huh? The Arsenal aren't doing too badly either, which we're just talking about now. Thanks again, and hopefully see you end of this year. I'll get in touch if I make it back for a trip. And then she said, haha, we try not to think about Arsenal these days. See, my dad defected. I can't get over that. Dad, if you're watching, you've got to go back to the Arsenal. Your dad now a solid Bees fan, and there's all caps, no going back. Oh, shit. My dad's defected. Hardin's Farmers Co-op says, happy birthday, Johnny. Happy birthday to me. Thank you, mate. That means a lot. How's it going at the co-op? Are you selling dem Whole Foods? I like your avatar. That's a very sweet child you've got there. And that says a lot about you. What a humble mother, putting the child first and foremost at the front of the avatar. You're taking a back seat, but I'm sure that your child needs a little bit of a backseat driver to get him to where he needs to go. Thank you so much for the birthday wishes. That means a lot. So I think my cousin wanted a chat. I should probably give him a call. Yeah, it's Mother's Day as well in the UK, so I've actually kind of got to call my mother. I'll tell him I'm live now. Want a quick chat? See what he's saying, see what my cousin's saying. So I should probably tell you what I got up to on the weekend. It was rather interesting. It was rather interesting, I must say. Okay, let me tell you. So I decided, you know, I didn't know what I wanted to do really. Of course, it's nice. It's nice to get birthday wishes. It started off with DJ Sumirok, world's oldest club DJ, Guinness World Record holder. And she took me out to dinner at our favourite restaurant now. It's a little French restaurant called Sympathique. And it's just really nice and quaint. And we were the only ones in there. And she's turning into one of my best mates. So we went out. She bought me some socks. She bought me a train ticket, like a city pass, because I lost mine. And I always put money in to get the ticket. Did that. So yeah, look, she got me this with my name on it. But this is what we use in Japan. A little penguin, walking along there, going through the ticket gate, bruv. Johnny Massacre, we got that going on. So yeah, she got me that. That was great. Mark Hatfield says, your dad's right. Time does seem to go faster at times. All in all, it does get better. Age is a mind opener. And so that was really good. And I should open this card, right, for my mum. I saved this to today. Right, birthday card for my mum. So my mum is like, okay. Look, we've got Pepe the Frog on it. Right? Look. 2 Pepes. Pepe, son, know what you're getting for your birthday. It won't wear out. It won't break down. It won't go out of style. It won't need winding. Wait, where is this going? It's absolutely guaranteed to last a long while. Oh lord, we won't need fixing. All right, we've got 6 Pepes. Won't need fixing. It won't need a new part. Some Pepe on the guitar. Cause it's a great big loving wish that comes straight from the heart. Happy birthday to a wonderful son. All my love, mum. 4 X's are with a frog hugging a big heart, and she wrote the date on it. Oh, that's lovely, mum. Why did you choose this one, mum? I do kind of like that frog. I do kind of like that. So that's like a cheeky Pepe. Wicked. So I'll be putting that somewhere. My best mate sent me some glasses. Let me show you these glasses that he sent me, because these are drinking glasses. These are rather special. Do we have elevator music? I think we do, bro. I'm in my underwear. You got to forgive me. So my mate sent me a message. Time to hit the bottle like a Bosch player from your best mate, Wicked. So he got me this. Look at that. So I was looking at that and I put it down. I thought it was going to stand up, but it actually rests like that, and you turn it. So it's on the table like that. You got with some player shit. I actually missed the package. He got some alcohol to go with it, but I'm not drinking anymore today, so it's all good. Yeah, and these are kind of, it's a little bit concave. So that's pretty radical. Look, I'm thinking, is it gonna spill? I guess it's not. So thank you, best friend, for these. Got 2 of those. That's quite cool. Gunglatin says, "Damn, you're 40." Yes, I am 40, bruv. Level 40. We made it. I'm just happy to be alive. Jesus Christ. And I went to Osaka with my mate for the weekend. Same age as me. His birthday's on the 16th. Mine's on the 19th. Went to school with him. We're not that close in school, but always mates. Never said a bad word to each other. Now we've become close in Tokyo. He's a stockbroker, and he's pretty wild. And he said, yes, he said something about how now, he feels better now than he did at the when he was 30. And mate, if I look back to when I was 30, where I am now, I would have bitten your hand off to be where I am now compared to where I was at 30. So just want to say that I'm very grateful that, I don't know, my higher power showed me the way where to go. And I think I went on that path, and I'm in a better place. So I'm just very, very grateful. I'm very grateful to be here. I'm grateful to be alive. And I'm grateful to have you lot in the comments. It means a hell of a lot. So it's just an amazing day. I'm so happy to have made it to 40. Gonglatin says, "You look way younger." Thank you, sir. That's very kind of you. In a club, I look where it's dark. Apparently, I look 24. Maybe people being nice to me, but that's what people were telling me out in Osaka. So I went to Osaka, and Osaka was kind of one of the original capitals of Japan, depending on what version of history you read. A port town. It's about 2.5 hours on the super fast bullet train, aka Shinkansen. And Osaka is notorious for people being a lot more open. People in Tokyo are much more self-conscious, and the accent's a little bit different. There's a little slightly different dialect in Osaka. So I went and stayed in some guest house, but we had a private room with no window. It's mad dark in there. And first night, we went somewhere really fucked up. And this is a deep, deep cut. So I spoke to someone who's from Osaka today. Now he's all the way up north in Sapporo, the cold northern part of Japan. And he told me the place we went was a super deep cut. Even people in Tokyo don't know about it. And this thing couldn't exist in Tokyo. So this is where I went. I went to a place called Apollo Building. Now, I didn't arrange this. My mate arranged it. And he got recommended it by a mate. Now, Apollo Building, apparently it's got a history of, 30, 40, 50 years. And it's always been a kind of hentai, sexual kind of building. And it's 5 floors, and I only went to 1 floor, and I went to the 4th floor, and it's known as Pink Pepper, aka Pinku Pepper in Japanese. Now, I've heard about these things called oppai pubs, which is like a titty pub, and these are not the kind of places I usually go. Actually, I've never been to a strip club in my life. I just never saw the reason to go. I've never been to a strip club in my life. Now, this is not a strip club. Let me explain to you what this was like. So you go in there, you get like a little seat, just a round stool, and there's various people in there, mostly Japanese businessmen wearing suits and ties and stuff, and there's about 25 women who are, they're extremely hot. They're top level, as hot as the hottest hostesses in Tokyo from the hostess clubs. Unbelievable. They're walking around in tiny bikinis and thongs and wearing like very colorful different kind of bikinis or lingerie. So immediately I feel a little bit uncomfortable, thinking like, okay, so I hadn't had any drinks at this point, just sitting there on this round stool with all these birds walking around, all these Japanese salary men. I'm sitting there thinking, okay, where are we going here? And some of the girls are just unbelievably gorgeous, and some of them are a little bit ropey. But so this is what they do: they come over to you, and they kind of drape their hand over your shoulder, and they "Sumimasen, Nihongo hanasemasu." Do you speak Japanese? No, basically no, but just use a little Japanese. And then they go, huh? And some of them come over to you in a thong, and they'll just sit in your lap and it's almost like a robot. I theorized that the male shacho, the owner who put this together, probably instructed them what to do. These people have got the male psychology down to a T, and they've got this business strategy down to a T. So it's almost as if they were instructed to go over to a man's, like go over to the guy and kind of bounce up and down on his lap 3 times. Not 2 times, not 4 times, 3 times. This happened about 10 times in the night. So the woman will come over, she'll stick her ass on your lap and she'll go 1, 2, 3, and then stand up and walk off. Or what? Why is it 3? So being sexy or whatever, I think that a lot of it's spontaneous, like showing your bit of your personality. If you're a hot babe, it's going to kind of come spontaneously. But there was this weird kind of robotic element to this. I don't even know what this establishment is. You tell me what it is at the end. But let's just call it a titty bar for now. There's weird kind of methodical aspect to this titty bar. Some of the women were like robots. They come over and they do this thing. When you're not drunk, it's kind of okay. I see what this is. You obviously you want me to pay for a lap dance or something like that. You're trying to excite me and you're trying to tempt me and get me to give you my money. So this is how the business works in this building. So you pay about $100 for the privilege of going in there to sit down. Then up until 9 o'clock, beer is free. We got there like 8:45. I don't drink beer anyways. Then it's quite expensive for a whiskey soda, which is really popular out here. It's called a highball. Quite expensive. I don't know, like $12 or more for one. So $100 to get in, like $10, $12 for whiskey. You're drinking. All these birds are walking around, come up to you, sit in your lap. Some of them get a little bit closer. The other kind of weird robotic thing they do that wasn't spontaneous, and they were probably instructed to do it, was touch your nipple. So these women come over and they're kind of like flicking your nipple and stuff. And I don't like that shit. But then when they were doing it, it kind of felt quite good. But again, I'm looking at it, okay, this is just a business. So it feels very corporate, and it feels like they were instructed to do it. So it felt quite awkward. How else do they get money? So there's a menu. So you pay 1,000 yen, which is about like $8. And then for 1 minute, they'll sit on your lap and you can touch their tits. Now, this is some sleazy shit. And I've never done anything like this before. And it's not the kind of thing I would usually do. But it's my 40th birthday, and my mate, his mate recommended it, and it's like, fuck it, let's just do something wild. I'll go along with it. And so you can do that for $10. And the weird thing is, it's in full view of everybody. So maybe some people like that. They kind of get turned on by doing something in public. I think it's just a very cynical part of the business. Ideally, it would be a private thing, but there's only so much space in the room. And if they can get away with it and people pay the money, fuck it. And if the people, for some whatever reason, find that a turn on or they're all right with it, then even better. We can make as much money as possible in a confined space, even though it's all public. And that's obviously is kind of crazy shit, right? And also, my friend was saying, I'm thinking about this in too much of a logical way. Like, people are going, they don't think about it in a logical way. But the way that I think, I just have to analyze this business because it was amazing. By the end of the night, I learned so much from this experience. Bear with me. The other things you can do is, if you pay 3,000 yen, which is about $25, they take you to a sofa and then you get 3 minutes with them. What happens there, I'll tell you in a minute. Then you could pay 5,000 yen, which is $45, and that's a private room. So that's 5 minutes instead of 3 minutes. And then who knows what's going to happen in there. And then there's something for $80, like 10,000 yen. And that's you get a whole bunch of these tokens or tickets you can use to get lap dances with these girls. So I'm sitting there feeling awkward as fuck. And then to make things even crazier, there's a stage in the middle of this thing. And bear in mind, there's women walking around, some of the hottest girls you've ever seen, super slim, like big tits and stuff, bikinis, and they keep coming over to you, like touching your nipple, like sitting on your lap, putting their arm around you, talking to you, all that kind of stuff. And obviously trying to get you attracted to them, so then you give them money for any of those things I just mentioned, like basically $10 to touch their tits, they sit on your lap, $30 to go for the kind of lap dance on the sofa, $50 for a private lap dance. That's what they're trying to do. And you're getting drunker and drunker. And I was sitting there and I was just thinking, yeah, this is kind of weird. I don't want to touch some girls. And the other thing is, I was thinking, a lot of these girls are probably disturbed and stuff. And I don't want to be part of this. I don't want to, if these girls, I don't know, they don't have an education or they come from broken homes, so they're kind of doing this job which is morally questionable. I don't want to be part of that. And like to touch her tit and stuff when inside she's hating it and she's all damaged and stuff in it. So there was a lot of there's a lot of morally questionable stuff about it, and a lot of the discussion I had that night. I know that I sound like I'm really fun at parties, but really, this is the kind of thing that was going through my mind. I was saying to my mate, do you think these women are mad damaged? But then there's actually no prostitution in the place. Prostitution is where I draw the line. I cannot imagine that being good for any woman anywhere in the universe. Although some of my friends in Japan who are prostitutes, they tell me it's fine and stuff, but I don't necessarily believe that. So I'm thinking maybe it's not that bad. Maybe they're not prostitutes. They're really hot and they're making loads of money, and maybe they're not having sex with any of the clients. I mean, it is kind of demeaning, and their values based on how drunken men perceive them. So perhaps it's kind of damaging. But then maybe if they're kind of they're not neurotic and they're quite rational and they're in it to make some money as quick as possible, maybe and the men are happy, and as long as it's safe, maybe it's okay. And a lot of the discussion I had that night was about whether the women were some of them even kind of enjoyed it or whatever. So anyways, the night was progressing, and there's a stage in the middle of the place. Mark says, are they all Japanese girls? Donuts on their tits? No donuts on their tits, but they're all Japanese. They're all Japanese. And so there's a stage in the middle, and then if you pay $10, as opposed to getting a kind of them sitting on your lap and you touching their tits in public, you can get on the stage and they'll do some kind of, not humiliating, but you'll do some shit on the stage with them, like play some games. And I don't know why you'd pay money to do that in front of everybody. So you'd have these Japanese, this was amazing. So there's a bunch of Japanese salarymen with their suits like looking respectable. This is where they went for the night, and they're all going, yeah, like around the stage. And they'll get up there in their tie, and then the girl, I don't know, she'll bend over, and the Japanese businessman will be like simulating screwing her from behind and go, woo, like this. I'm just watching it, and all the salarymen are clapping. Of course, you can't get your phone out. My friend said, do not take your phone out, or you'll probably get beaten up by the bouncer. Okay, probably not the best idea. But this is the kind of shit I always wanted to see in Japan. Bear with me. This weird kind of like underground, like morally questionable stuff with these Japanese kind of salarymen, businessmen going wild and doing. I've been there. That this shit exists, and apparently this doesn't exist in Tokyo. And this extends to a kind of broader thing, which is in Osaka. It's away from the spotlight of Tokyo, and there's way more shady, grey, borderline, like quasi illegal stuff going on. One of which is this business. So all these salarymen, they'll get up on the stage, and then some of the girl like takes off his belt, and then she's just rubbing her hand on his dick. So I'm watching this, and it's mad entertaining just because it's so bizarre. I'm watching a Japanese salaryman getting his knob rubbed up through his trousers on a stage by some really hot birds, and just thinking, what am I watching here? And then you're drinking more. Ellie and Kat in the comments says, happy birthday, Johnny. Ellie and Kat, thank you so much for the well wishes, Ellie and Kat. And Kat, I'll get a well wish from both of you. Thank you, Ellie and Kat. Slav says, wait till you get your first white pube. Oh my God, mate, fucking hell. I'm sure that's going to happen at some point. So then we're getting more and more drunk, and there's a few girls, and then the discussion is like, which is your favorite? And so then there's some stage performances where the girls just dance, and this was actually mad entertaining. I fell in love at this point. There was one girl, she kind of had pigtails, and she had really kind of muscular legs, and they were so shapely, they look athletic. I love that, especially when they're petite. There's a girl like that, she's on the stage and she's dancing, and they're doing some dance, and they're singing a song. It might have been lip syncing, but the choreography was legit awesome. The performance was awesome. They could have been pop stars, and you wouldn't have batted an eyelid. They were basically like pop stars. So they go around, they act sexy, they chat you up, they touch you, they drape their arm over you and stuff, and they perform. And it's kind of glitzy. The music's not good, but it's entertaining. So it's actually they had a lot of things going on other than the basic mechanic of pay money for a lap dance. You're entertained, so you keep drinking, and then as you're kind of losing interest, a girl will come over and kind of talk to you. Some talk to you for a little bit, some stay a bit longer. And during the performances, a girl will come down and kneel between you and your mate. And one of them, because I got mad hairy arms, right? She was like stroking my arm, and basically most Japanese men don't have anything like this amount of body hair. And she's going, kawaii, kawaii. And I'm not going to lie, it's kind of nice when a hot girl's stroking your arm. And I know that you're just here to get my money. And I guess I'm a romantic at heart. I'm not one of these people who can simulate love or romance. It has to be genuine. And that's why I always talk about political stuff, because I hate fakeness. And even though I know it's fake, it still felt kind of nice when you're drunk. And basically what this business comes down to is get extremely hot women in a room and train them to kind of speak to customers and turn the customers on, get the customers drunk and make some motherfucking money. And mate, they were making mad amounts of cash. So then when the drinks are flowing, you see these guys being led by the hand by these hot girls to another room. And so in the corner of this place, there's you can see it, it's kind of open plan, but it's slightly around the corner, it's a little bit darker, and there's all these seats on the floor, and people go there, and then 3 minutes with the girl, give them $30, and the girl gives them a lap dance for 3 minutes, so $10 per minute. And the more people are drinking, and the more they're turned on by the stage performances, and the more they're building up a relationship with these girls who keep coming over to them and touching them and stuff, the more they're enticed into actually choosing a girl and giving them more money. And then you can imagine when people get drunk, then they want to try every girl, and it's really fucked up. It's like the women become some kind of commodity. It's like picking a steak off a shelf in a supermarket, or picking up like a chocolate, and that's, I'm going to choose this woman, and they're being completely objectified the whole time. And I'm thinking, these women have to have mad amounts of confidence. It's real sink or swim shit. In that environment, if you're not confident, you're going to fail. So they're kind of walking around, you know, being friendly and stuff. And then there's this other level of psychology, which is, maybe I can make one like me. And so the lesser version of this is known as kyabakura, aka hostess clubs, where men, they don't get a lap dance, but they pay to be in the company of women and drink with women, and they can buy more and more expensive drinks for them, and then everyone gets a cut of it. And some people who go to that, they take the women out on dates if they pay more, in the hope that they can actually convert these women who are just giving their company as a service in exchange for money. They can convert that into a real relationship. So that appeals to the narcissist in people, that, okay, this business is set up so I pay to get attention from women and get a lap dance, but maybe I could make one really like me. And I've been able to do this in Japan. I've been able to date girls who are hostesses in these clubs, but not actually, I don't go to these clubs, but I've met them. And I'm a bit of a, I don't know why it is, you can psychoanalyze me, but I'm a bit of a savior. Like, I like to fix people. I'm a fixer. So when I see a damaged woman, I want to fix her. It's just the way that I am. And so these kind of look like damaged women. And so in my mind, and because I've kind of done this shit before, I'm like, I say to my mate, we got to get them to come out clubbing. And he's just putting his head in his hands. He's like, mate, Johnny, they're not going to come with us. And I said, look, I know, don't judge me like the average guy in this club who's going to say, maybe I have a chance of it. That's not what I'm saying, but I reckon, right? It's not impossible. No human being is incorruptible, right? Even Darth Vader, at the end of the fucking movie, he turned the light side. You could get one of these girls to come out to a club. And then so I said to him, "Cause you're Japanese better than mine. Ask her if she'll come clubbing with us." And he's really embarrassed. I said, "Mate, don't think of it like that. This is like a case study. This is research. I reckon we can get them to come." And he asked them all, "Will you come out with us?" And all of them said straight up no. And I asked them, "Have you ever gone out with a client?" They said no. I said, "What, zero?" They said zero. Bullshit. And a few of them, one of them, I could see she kind of wanted to, but then maybe she was faking it. I don't know. But that was my goal, was to try to actually get one of these girls to transcend this business and not see a man as a vessel for cash that they can exploit, or are they exploiting us? Are we exploiting them? Deep, man. But that was my kind of goal, and suffice to say that failed, and none of them came out clubbing with us. AK in the comments says, "Happy birthday, Johnny M. You should write a case study about this place for business schools, lol." We're just getting started, mate. Dornella says, happy birthday, happy birthday. Thank you so much, Dornella. We're talking about some rather naughty things. I hope that's okay. Chris Campbell says, "I went to a snack in Osaka once, not as high end as what you're describing, but as an 18-year-old, I enjoyed the hell out of it." I bet you did. Slav says, "Does sex happen?" So we'll get there. Did Darth Vader pole dance? I don't think so, Mark Hatfield. So I was trying to get that to happen, and the thing is, my friend thought I was just being one of these kind of losers who actually thought they had a chance, but it wasn't like that. I wasn't hung up on it or anything. It was like a challenge, and I really believe it's possible, right? Because someone out there, if you do it the right way, they could, okay, yeah, just do exchange details. It could happen. Anyways, it didn't happen. My mate was right. And then during so the girl was like touching my arm hair, and then she put her hand. Some of the girls don't give a fuck, and we'll get to that in a minute as well. One of the girls put her hand up the front of my shirt, and she's like stroking my chest there for 2 minutes. And I'm sitting there, and it felt. See, I kind of like girls who are it's just almost like they want to take care of you. I need a girl to take care of me. You should see the state of my apartment. There's like shit everywhere. The irony is I like girls who kind of take care of me a bit, but then as soon as they take care of me, like cook me a meal, too much commitment, I don't want to owe you anything, get out of my apartment. So pretty much I'm one of the worst people you can date. But anyways, for a brief moment, I do like to be taken care of a bit. And it felt like she's kind of taking care of me, play with my chest a bit. She's saying kawaii, because there's no one with like, you don't get the kind of sexy Chewbacca in Japan. There's people don't have this much body hair. So she was doing that. And then as I was getting drunk, I thought, yeah, I didn't find you that attractive at first, but now we've got this kind of stroking my chest hair connection, and I'm kind of getting drunk. My guard's going down. I know what you want. You want to get the money. So this might be morally questionable, but you actually want this. Like, you're here. You chose to be here. I'm just here for a night out. I didn't know what to expect. Here I am. Now I kind of actually want to pay you 3,000 yen for a lap dance. Who knows what will happen? And so I started to get into it, and then my mate, he's suddenly someone put a wristband around my wrist, and he's like, happy birthday, mate. I said, what? Oh, so he bought a girl for me, okay, and he chose the one. There's this girl, she's really slim and she's got rather large breasts. I should put the naughty cap on. Hold on, I got to put the naughty cap on because my mum. When I put the naughty cap on, it means my mum knows not to listen. All right, mum, you know what to do. So we were okay. This is going to sound really. The thing is, I've never used a prostitute in my life, and I'm not even a little bit tempted. I can't do it. Like so many, it's an instinct. It's an instinct. Like so many guys are nutting it in them, and on. I just can't do it. So this is not my usual territory. But I thought, don't be such a prissy prude, you know. Fucking hell, bruv. It's like you've never been to a strip club. It's time. So, all right, I'll get in the mix, right? Get in the mix. My 40th birthday. Lady Dennis says, of course you're talking about big tits. Happy birthday, Johnny. Thanks, Lady Dennis. Of course I am. So, went for the lap dance. And because we were saying, which is the best one? There's a slim girl with fucking big tits. And the thing is, like, girls with big tits have usually got a bit of weight on them. I don't mind. I'm not choosy. I like a curvy girl. As long as the tits are big, I'm good. But if it's like a really slim girl with big tits, there's something about that which is super rare. You don't see it very often. And mate, I don't think I can tell you exactly what happened in this lap dance, but the fucked up thing is, there's like seats about 40 centimeters away where the next customer would be. And when I sat down, there wasn't one there, but I ended up having 3 lap dances. And at one point, there's people either side of me. Now, of course, you're not looking over to see what the other cunt is doing. You're fully focused on the guy in front of you. But it's a genius business because they could use another room. But why use another room if you can make use of the space you have without having to rent another floor or using another floor which could be used for another outlet of the business, which they are using? Because each fucking floor has one of these things of 5. Then why not just use what you've got if the customer's not going to complain? And why would you? You're drunk. You're looking at a pair of boobs. There's all these cunts next to you because the people who made this business are cynical as fuck and they don't give a shit about you or your privacy because you're going to put up with it because you're drunk and the girl's in front of you, and who gives a shit? So it's mad that there's this lack of privacy. There's people like right next to you having the same thing, but you've got 3 minutes, so you're just going to look straight ahead of you. So I know about this because back in the day before, you know, the rules changed, I used to do an Airbnb business, and there's all kinds of shit like this. Like we used to rent the shittiest apartments in areas with loads of whores. We used to rent out apartments in buildings that were completely populated by porno studios. Those were the only rentals in the building. And so these sketchy buildings that no one would rent because of its shady grey history were perfect for renting to foreigners because these people are in town for 7 days. They don't know the history of the building. And even if they did, they wouldn't give a fuck. But the average Japanese person doesn't care. And so people kind of stay in it and they don't really know, they're not really thinking about the deficiencies of it or kind of looking into how good or how bad the quality of the product is, because they're just enjoying the experience as a tourist. In the same way in this place, it's not kind of perfect. Maybe there's some shady shit going on, but they're just, they're entertained, they're loving it, they're in town for a short amount of time and they're not going to question it. So if you look deep into what they're doing, it's taking the piss. You're getting touching girls' tits around other people, like these other fucking voyeuristic motherfuckers who might be getting turned on by it, and you're getting a lap dance next to people because they're tight and they're saving as much space as they can and cutting corners, but they get away with it because you're being entertained. So this is crazy. This is shit's going on next to you. And I'm not gonna lie, so here's the thing. I thought I've never used a prostitute and I just thought, yeah, it can't be good, right? But here's the fucked up thing. The girl that I was with, she was amazing. I can't really tell you what she did. She basically didn't take, Mum, I'm wearing the hat. Mum, you have to turn off the volume now if you're listening. Okay? Mum's not listening. Wearing the naughty cap. So they don't take your cock out or anything, but they kind of touch it. And this girl, she was good. She was good. She was amazing. So after that, I thought, holy crap, this is a gateway to prostitution, right? You go to one of these bars and you spend the time with a girl and you kind of like it. And then you think, well, if she would have taken it out, I wouldn't have said no. So this is, right, marijuana is the gateway to fucking shooting up and chasing the dragon and taking heroin. This weird, esoteric Osaka Titty Bar is the gateway to prostitution. And we will get there because I went to the prostitution areas later, didn't use a prostitute. I don't think I ever will. But I went there purely to get a cultural perspective on something that you cannot find anywhere else in Japan. It was fascinating. There's this fucked up dystopian Blade Runner-like prostitution zone that dates back to the Edo period that I went to later. And this place that I went, this weird titty bar in Japan, is a gateway to that shit which is next door. And then I realized in that moment that that's how you'll get into prostitution. You'll first go to a kyabakura, which is a hostess club, where you just have a conversation. Next, you might go to something like this, and then it's like, what? I touched the titty in public. Your mates buying you drinks, you're getting pissed. Girls are coming in your lap, like 1, 2, 3, like bouncing up and down, touching your chest hair, touching your nipples, and then a bit drunk. Your mate buys one for you. What are you going to do on your 40th birthday? You're not going to say no, go and do it. Then you're thinking, shit, now I'm ready to use a prostitute. So this place is a gateway for prostitutes. Anyways, she was amazing, and her tits were amazing. They were like huge, and she was slim. And believe me, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it, and I am a nice guy, right? I'm not good. And you know what? I made her month. She ain't having anyone half as good looking as me in the last 6 years, motherfucker. So I think there's nothing morally questionable about that. She's going to service loads of guys who are like stinking of fucking like whatever they've eaten, ramen, and they're out of shape and shit. I roll in there, respectful guy, good look, mate. I think probably, even if she doesn't like what she does and she chooses to be there, it was probably the best experience she had with a customer. So I don't really feel bad about it. And I was nice with her as well. I had a little chat. I think it was all right. But still, as I left, I was questioning with my mate. Yeah, like, it's morally, if there is a heaven and you go up the golden escalator and then at the pearly gates, you're going to be reviewed. I don't think God's going to shine favorably upon you for going to that place. I don't think there's any way you could star that out or persuade him that that was a good thing. So at the end of the day, this was all bad. Let's not justify it or validate my behavior. But then again, this taps into a kind of very interesting discussion about Japan's philosophy and religion or lack thereof. It's such a nihilistic country. And when I was a liberal back in the day, I admired Japan so much for its nihilism and progressivism and, you know, like attitude towards sex and casual sex and just anything goes. It's very hedonistic. I used to really admire that. But these days, now that I'm a little bit more spiritual, I look at it from a different perspective and I think, wow, this is a nihilistic country. There's people here spending all their money and there's women doing this, degrading themselves. And it's kind of, at the end of the day, I would say it's not right. It's not necessarily right. And I don't feel proud of myself. But hey, I did what I did. So my mate got me that girl. And then my mate was hating on this other. So there was one girl, the only girl in the whole joint, she wouldn't talk to anyone. She wouldn't even look at me. She walked past, had a brief look and just looked away. And my mate caught her eye and she just looked away immediately. And she was the most popular one. She had large fake breasts. She had kind of short hair, which I love. Really curvy, beautiful. Did a great stage performance. And she was constantly in demand. So you know how you get those products that are purposefully overpriced, and that's part of the branding. You know it's not worth that much, but the fact that it's overpriced means it's exclusive, and people with more money than they know what to do with will just buy it to say, I've got it and you don't. It's a status symbol. She embodied all of that in a human being. So I think she would purposefully not even look at you because she already had customers up the wazoo who are willing to pay all night for the most expensive lap dances. She doesn't even need to come over to you, and her not coming over to you makes her more desirable. So my friend who organized this, he was turning into me. I'd been in the lap dance. I've broken my Titty Bar cherry, and now my friend's becoming a prude, and he's overanalyzing it now, and he's like, look, she's so arrogant. I'd never give her my money. He was saying how fit she is, but she's so rude. And I knew he loved her, right? You've had that when a girl loves you, but they're bad mouthing and they're talking shit to you because they think they can't have you, and they're hating on you because it's sour grapes. I knew my mate loved her, even though he's cussing her. So I put the wristband on him. I was like, happy birthday, mate. And afterwards he thanked me. He said, mate, yeah, you were right. I was hating on her because of sour grapes, and it was great. And then we kept buying each other lap dances. And at this point, you're starting to get drunk. And once you've done one, you're thinking, I want to try another one. Like, I wonder if she's good. And like, oh, this one touched my arm earlier. I want to. And then you can imagine, right? If you became addicted to this degenerate shit, you'll be there every fucking night. It's a really convenient transaction. You want to touch a girl, you fucking pay for it. You don't have to waste your time chatting him up. Are you going to get with them or not? You just fucking pay. You're with all your mates, you're having a laugh. It's like a locker room talk, boys giggling, talking about girls' tits and stuff. And once you get drunk, the money's flowing. Buy your mate one, buy one for you. I want to try her. And then this one touched my arm earlier. This place is a vortex. I don't know how much cash they made, but they made bank. And these girls are really fucking hot. Most of them are absolutely gorgeous. And I spoke to a few other people in Japan who knew about it, and they said, oh, the place you went to, is that the one with the amazing girls? And I said, yeah. So this place, even my Japanese mates who are really clued up, we were talking about how has this place been set up. Usually the girls there are quite kind of rough, a bit rough around the edges, but they were all gorgeous. So I guess like all the hot girls, they must know about this place, and there's special kind of screening and training or whatever, interviews. You have to be good at performing, you have to be able to dance, all this kind of stuff. You have to be good with customers. And this is just this one place in Osaka with the hottest birds. And that was one floor. There's 5 floors. This is going every night. And this building is a miracle. So I talked a bit earlier about how I used to do an Airbnb business and stuff. And we rent out the places that nobody wants to rent, where the rent was cheap and that wouldn't get snapped up by investors because they used to they had a questionable history. There used to be porn studios, or there's like, I don't know, they're kind of, it's a grey area. There's prostitution in the area, and so you can rent them, and but you have to be careful because the neighbors might complain and the guests are noisy, and it's all very grey business. This is the same kind of shit. This one building, it's in a residential area, and there's people outside. If you make any noise, they're going shh, shh. So you're basically, this place is hardly legal. And someone's taken the insane risk of renting out a whole building and creating this cult-like business of hot women, which basically should not exist, which will shut down if you don't micromanage all the rowdy, perverted customers and make sure you don't piss off the neighbors. And it's just a miracle it exists. And no one of these, there aren't many of these places, because they would get instantly shut down. And this place obviously survived long enough through the management micromanaging it and keeping it alive and calming down the neighbors and whatnot, to the point where anyone who moves to that area now will know where they're kind of moving next to and accept it. And so it will just be able to perpetuate until a disaster happens and it gets shut down. At one point, someone's going to get killed in there or knocked out, and the authorities will use that as an excuse to shut it down. And you may never see a place like that ever again. But for now, it exists, and it's existed for decades. And it's such an anomaly. It's such an anomaly. Most people, they'll never get as far as actually executing that business because there's so many hurdles, legal hurdles, logistical hurdles, like moral hurdles. But some cunt did it back in the day, and it's still going. So that was one of the weirdest things. And I learned a lot about, women, how much knowledge they have, how aware they are of the power they have over men, certain women. And I also learned a lot about sexual attraction. Hear me out, right? I don't mean to get too pseudo-intellectual on this, but think about this. There aren't many points in your life where you'll have so many different hot women all over you at the same time, right? So usually you're going to get a girl, you chat them up in a club, a bit of hard work, a few dates, you bang them, and then these things are like weeks and months apart, right? Or even years. And so it's kind of hard to compare side by side because you're not comparing all these women at the same time. If you were, you're kind of a psychopath, at the very least a sociopathic liar. But in this case, you've got all these beautiful women who are very intimate, giving you lap dances, and they're talking to you and whatever. And so you can really kind of judge like what turns you on and what makes a woman good, and understand sexual chemistry. So a girl just being hot isn't enough. They kind of have to be your type. So the first girl that gave me a lap dance, she was like perfect. And I thought, holy crap, that's almost a gateway to prostitution. And I would love to have a girlfriend like that, who was that sexy. And then the next girl, the one who's kind of rubbing my hair, my arms and my chest, I felt like a real connection, as much of a connection as you can feel with someone who's cynical like that in that place. But then when she gave me a lap dance, she really turned me off. Like, she was like saying the weirdest shit. And what else did she do? Like, she asked me to put on a fucking mask before the lap dance. Like, that just killed it. And then she was just saying weird shit. And let's be honest, her tits were not as big as the first one. And so I realized, yeah, like, when you can compare 3 hot women that quickly next to each other and their skills, you start to really realize how important sexual chemistry is. It's such a big thing. Even if someone's really hot, like textbook hot, it doesn't really mean that much unless you've got that thing. And so I learned about sexual chemistry from this. I learned that, you know, girls can be really hot, but they for whatever reason, you don't match. And it's not their fault. Like, for another guy, maybe that'll turn them on and be perfect, but it doesn't matter how hot they are, you know. And some of them just don't have the skills and they don't know. I was also thinking, like, shit, maybe I should be more adventurous with women, because some of the shit they do with a lap dance, they do crazy stuff. They're all over you. And I was thinking, I should do the reverse of that for a girl. I should be doing a fucking, like, take that Chippendale and shit for the next girl that I take home. Why not? I thought, if a girl did this to me on a date that I didn't pay for in a titty bar, I'd be fucking blown away. I think this is wifey material. So I should be doing the same thing to the next girl I take home. So that's another thing I took away from it. I was inspired by these girls in the titty bar to be more adventurous with the next girl that I bed. And what was the other thing I was thinking of? I can't remember. But you get the idea of it. It was a kind of crazy experience. And we just had to get out of there. We were only in there for 3 hours. We were pretty pissed, and we called it a night because it was only the first night of my birthday weekend, and I didn't want to get too wasted. But yeah, it was mental. I've never done anything like that before, and it was good fun. The performances were good, and it was a good laugh. But the only thing that's kind of negative is I'm just thinking, you know, how damaged are these girls, and is this a good thing for them? They're not. I don't think they're prostitutes, or maybe some of them actually are, but they don't have to have sex with the customers. They're probably making loads of money. But it can't be good for their self-esteem. And I just do wonder about them, because some of them look hot enough not to be in there. So you wonder, why are they in there? They probably got some issues. They could probably find some other way to monetize. Why are they in there? Anyways, Alien Cat says Chippendale Chewbacca. So I did that on the first night. And then the second night, basically went out to a club. We'll get to that in a minute. But I went to this prostitution zone. Now, I didn't use any prostitutes, but there is a famous place in Osaka where it has like Edo style. This is from like 1600s or 1500s prostitution, where there's a whole block, it's a grid, and every single ground floor apartment is open plan. There's a woman sitting in the middle, and there's a mama-san, this old woman next to her, who kind of manages the joint. Johnny Webb says happy birthday in the comments. Thank you so much, mate. 40 years old and loving it. Cheers, Johnny Webb. That means a lot. And there's an old woman managing this prostitute, and you walk along and it's like Amsterdam shop fronts, but it's all Japanese, and they have Japanese paraphernalia in the background. They have gold fans on the wall. Some of them are in kimonos. Some of the girls are wearing Argentina shirts. I thought, I'll give you the hand of God, darling. I'm not sure why they're wearing Argentina shirts. A couple of them Argentina football shirts. Maybe they want to get a hate fuck from English people. I don't know. There's all these young girls sitting there, and I've never seen anything like it before. And apparently, these are the only places in Japan where you can see this, in Osaka. And there's 2. They're called Shinchi. So I think Shinchi means prostitution zone. There's 2. There's one called Matsushima Shinchi. So Matsushima prostitution zone. The other one's called Tobita. Hold on. Yeah, Tobita Shinchi. So Tobita is the famous big one. Matsushima Tobita is the small one. So we went to small prostitution zone first. And this is supposed to be the most dangerous area in Japan. The second one, the first one we went to is kind of sketchy. And it's completely different to Tokyo. When we walked in there 5:30 p.m, you can see it, shop fronts open, and the girl sees you. She's like this, suddenly, beaming smile, hi. And there's all different kinds. Some are wearing kimonos, some have like loads of makeup, some have big breasts, some have short breasts, some have Lolita, some are in schoolgirl uniforms. And the mama-san, the old woman sitting there, sometimes they're cute and homely, sometimes they're haggard and look like some weird science fiction creature. It's bizarre shit. And they're beckoning you in. Apparently, a lot of them don't like foreigners to come in there for various reasons. They don't abide by the etiquette. But we walked through and the atmosphere changes. It was really run down. There's a lot of graffiti and there's some abandoned buildings and stuff. And the atmosphere changed. I've never really felt an atmosphere like that in Japan. So we walked around, got a taste of it, and it was mind-blowing. I've never seen anything like it. Later in the night, we went to the bigger famous prostitution old school zone, which is, as I said, Tobita Shinchi. Now, that is supposed to be the most dangerous area in Japan. And we walked through there, and it was like no area of Japan I've seen before. So as soon as we got out the station, there's some like beds and people sleeping in the beds on the street, abandoned mattresses, heaps of trash, graffiti everywhere, abandoned buildings. Every motherfucker I saw was shady as shit, like spitting on the street, kind of fucked up, like no teeth, and they look kind of there's some kind of drug degeneracy in society there. Every character I saw was shady. There's loads of bars, and I looked in, and there's some are rowdy, some are kind of lively. No foreigners in there at all, proper underground. And we didn't actually get to go there, but I was dying to go there, and I will be back there. That's where you're going to find the real underground shit. I'm so tired of the mainstream sterile shit in Japan, of which there is a lot. And in Osaka, the main street is called, I think it's something like Dotenbo, what is it? Dotonbori is the main street in Osaka, and man, there were so many fucking tourists there. I went to Osaka 2 years ago, and there was no tourists there, obviously, and it was all the businesses were fake and set up for tourists, and it just felt all fake. But oh, hang on a minute, is the stream all right? Are we glitching out? Hold on a minute. What's the quality of the stream like? YouTube's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth. I think we're all right. So this underground area, which is more dangerous, people are kind of afraid to go there, and it looked local as fuck. It was so cool. There was one bar across the road. It was so small, and you could see the back wall dominated by this huge neon sign, and these people like really rowdy in there. I wanted to kind of go into a few of these places, but we went straight to prostitution zone. On the way, we went through some old kind of market town. It's so underground, it's so dirty, it's so low lit. It was dystopian as hell. And there's so many bars in there with counters and loads of people at the counter, and they're all singing karaoke. Usually karaoke is kind of private room, but it looked awesome. And it kind of looked like this at night. You're walking through here, look at that. And on each side, there's loads of shops, and there's like little dive bars, holes in the wall, really run down, a lot of local people. So it's a shame I couldn't go there, but I really look forward to checking it out next time. Really OG shit. Tokyo is all brand new. They've knocked down nearly all of the cool stuff. This is the old school, around World War II era, still preserved shit going on. And we went to that prostitution zone, and it was nuts. It was like a dystopian sci-fi. I wanted to take a picture, but my mate said, don't do it. You get in trouble with Yakuza or whatever. But there's so many different kinds of prostitutes, and some of them look kind of fucked up. Some of them look hot. The mama-san, the old woman, is so weird. Sometimes they're really friendly. Hi. And sometimes they go, rah, like bark something at you. It's like some kind of science fiction character or creature, like scream at you. It was like something out of a science fiction movie. There's old buildings, and as I said, old school Japanese stuff, kimonos or gold fans and like lacquer wear, and those dividers with kind of old Japanese style air, as they call it, pictures on, with like neon bars of pink neon and blue neon, creating like mad, colors and tones inside the shop front with these prostitutes. It looked like something out of Blade Runner. It was amazing. There was one in particular I really want to take a picture, but I didn't. I have to do it next time. And all you do is you go in there, you say hi to the mama stand, the old woman, then you go upstairs with the woman, and then you do your thing. Some of the guys I saw coming out of these prostitution places, I don't know how you could use it. Like after these old like sleazy fuckers are just doing all kinds of things with these girls. But that was trippy as hell. I've never seen anything like that in Japan. It's the only place where they have it. I've done some research online about how these exist. Apparently, according to my mate, they tried to shut these down many times over the years. And there's a celebrity lawyer. He's this hotshot lawyer. And he was a TV personality as well, and he ended up being the mayor of Osaka, and he kept these prostitution zones open, according to my mate who grew up in this area in Osaka. And he said they did it because they wanted to protect like OG Japan. So it's some kind of nationalist conservative shit, but ironically weirdly progressive, like like sticking up for prostitution. But this one hotshot lawyer, TV personality, come mayor, had some landmark court cases which kept these prostitution zones open. Tobita Shinchi in particular, and to a lesser extent, the smaller Matsushima Shinchi. Shinchi means prostitution zone. And apparently the guy's campaign, he argued as well, we're not like Tokyo, we're like Osaka. We don't want to change like progressive Tokyo. We want to keep our identity. So Osakans don't really get on with Tokyo people and vice versa. So he exploited that in order to try to keep the prostitution. Because if you don't, you're going to modernize like Tokyo or change like them and like fuck Tokyo. So that stoked up a bit of regional pride. And in the end, that meant they could keep these prostitution places open. Really interesting. But all the bars around there, that's the kind of shady area. Really interesting. A lot of homeless there. There was a huge homeless area, a park with loads of homeless, but I think they got rid of them all around Tokyo Olympics. I'm not sure where they've gone now, but apparently there's a more dangerous area still I didn't go to. But it's not dangerous though compared to London at all. So it's actually all right, I think, if you go there, as long as you keep your wits about you. So I did that on Saturday, and that was so bizarre and so cool and so interesting, really inspiring in a messed up way, and made me just want to write a science fiction novel using that as a basis, as inspiration. Super, super fun. So I was trying to work out the relationship of the old woman. Does she own the property? Does she own the prostitute? Is she related to the prostitute? Is she like a pimp and she gets loads of girls and entices them in? Is she employed by someone else? And I asked ChatGPT, and the answer to this really is not clear, but this is what it said. Oh my God. We had a $100 donation from Ellie and Kat, who's donated like $300 probably in the last month. Oh, Mariah, you on fire. Have you been to Tobita Shinchi? I bet you have, darling. What about the pink pepper in the Apollo building in Osaka? I know you fit right in there, Mariah. Thank you, Ellie and Kat, who says, take 10 minutes in the back on us. Oh, thank you. Shit, 10 minutes. That's a double bubble. Okay, we'll be going back there. That's the kind of place you could end up spending a lot of money. Thank you, Ellie and Kat. That's super generous on my 40th birthday. I really appreciate that massively. Look, we've made about $500 with how many days to go? 12 days to go, baby. 12 days to go to make a total of 1,550, which is last month's total. I wonder if we can do it. Next weekend, we got a 36-hour live stream trying to complete Sekiro without sleeping by From Software. So that's going to be mental, and buckle up for that. Thank you so much, Ellie and Kat. You're super, super duper generous. Much love to you, Ellie. Much love to you, Kat. Hardworking Kat in the medical world, behind the scenes, keeping it sweet, keeping us healthy. We appreciate you. So yeah, so the mama-san in these prostitution zones, I said, where did the mama come from in Tobita Shinchi in Osaka? Are they employed? Do they get a cut of the money of the prostitutes? Do they manage the prostitutes? Do they own the establishment, or does someone else employ them? Please give as much information as possible about the mama of this area. So ChatGPT says Tobita Shinchi is a red light district in Osaka, Japan. The term mama typically refers to a woman who manages a hostess or cabaret club. But in the context of Tobita Shinchi, it could also refer to the older women who manage the establishments where prostitution takes place. So we should look at this. Let Tobita Shinchi. Let's look at a video of this, because like me chatting about it is not going to be enough. If I say Blade Runner, I really hope someone else took a picture of that. Arsenal winning 2-0 versus Palace. Best birthday ever. Yes. Thank you, Slavs. Who scored? Who scored, bruv? Who scored? No, Slavs, I love you for that, bruv. How are you, Slavs? How's the family? Martinelli, Isabella, 28 minute. Saka on 43, wicked. What's happened to Willie Saliba, the defender? How injured is he? And Tomiyasu? That's what I want to know. Thank you, Slavs, making my day. Right. Look. How much to pay Tobita Shinji? Wow, okay. We're going to get here. Let's have a look at it, right? There's people who've gone around with a secret GoPro. Tobita Shinchi. Walk. Right, 4K. So this is where I went. This is mind blowing. Red light zone. You've never seen anything like this. Right, look at this. And we're saying, like, imagine living in there. Imagine living in there. Internet Tough Guy says, the Sekiro live stream should be cool. I never played that one. I can't wait, mate. I can't wait. Alright, so this is Tobita Shinchi. Right, we haven't started yet. Get a move on, mate. Oh, here we go, here we go. Okay, so now the reason why these places weren't shut down is because they said they were restaurants. So you go in there and you want the restaurant service, then you go up and then you fall in love with the girl who's in the storefront, and then you happen to make love to her, and then, well, you like a girl, you give her some money. What's the problem? So that's the trick here. But it makes you wonder how unbelievably corrupt Japan is, because if you did something similar to that, for example, gambling's illegal in Japan. If you had a whole block where every single shop front was open plan, had like slot machines, had a craps table, and like gambling paraphernalia everywhere, and then people came in and gambled, then you just said, hey, no, like there's no gambling going on here. This is a restaurant and we're not actually exchanging money here. They're just giving me money as a gift. That would get shut down in a day. But with the prostitution, it stays open. So why this is allowed to exist, I do not know. Please let me know what you think. Anyways, these are actually registered as restaurants. That's how they get away with it. There's lots of groups of guys walking around kind of laughing and stuff. And each restaurant or prostitute or brothel has a sign outside with the restaurant name. Okay, so here it is. So that's the mama, the old woman. The prostitute sits there. Right, we're just getting started. I can take the hat off now, I think. Right, come on, get to the... Okay, no, I think this is... Maybe this is the one that I wanted to take a picture of. Does it have gold fans on the wall? You can't really see, it's too bright. Look, I've got the lucky cat. This is dystopian Blade Runner shit, look. Look. Here we go, that's the mama sound. Can't see the girl yet. Oh, this guy's not doing a good job. I'm sure there's a better one, but these are the shop signs. These little signs here. All right, this guy, this is getting a thumbs down. That's not the real deal. That's not the real deal. Right, these gaijin, right? Fuck them. The thing is, we need a Japanese one. Tobita Shinchi. Right, we need a Japanese guy to take us through. Because that guy failed big time. Okay, so yeah, this is look, this is kind of on the way there. This is what I was talking about. This old school stuff. Right, let's flick it on a bit. See, it's hard for the cameraman to take a shot because you're going to get in trouble if they catch you. Okay, this is right on the corner. Right. But he's not even looking in the shops because he's worried he's going to get busted. I guess it's on his handlebars, the camera. Yeah, this is where I was yesterday. Let's see if we can get a better look at this. Yeah, he's not looking in any of the storefronts. So this is all the good stuff. But you can see the signs, right? Look, they all have the same kind of white sign, which is the establishment name. But he's not looking in any of the shop fronts because he's too afraid. Someone's got to look inside. Let's open a few more of these. Someone's got to have a good one. Oh, he's looking inside. Okay, look. Right, so that's the mama, that's the girl. Look, there you go. But she's just sitting there. And then you pay the money, you go upstairs. There you go. Bizarre, right? And they're all females in the front. What's with this stupid music? Let's turn the music off. Look. She's kind of cute, right? This is messed up. This is kind of messed up. We were talking about how messed up these chicks must be. How do you end up doing this? But some of them are quite hot. Look, that's the mama-san. So what's she doing? What is her role? Like, this apparently has a long history, a long culture in Japan. So anyone in this area is kind of used to it. Does she own the property? But surely there's not an old woman owning every one of these properties. Is she just employed because she can't get work? Did she used to be a prostitute, but now she's graduated, she knows the business and she's comfortable managing? Does she have a stake in it? Is she employed by someone? Like what exactly is her role? Does she manage the money? Does she get a cut of it? Is it a relative? Like how the hell does she scout out? Or is she a good scout for prostitutes, as in contrast to a male who might be intimidating? Here we go. See, now you're getting to see. This guy's doing a good job. There's a mama-san. There's a girl. Look. It's kind of like a science fiction dystopia, isn't it? It's like vaporwave style. It's very bizarre. It's very bizarre. Like, it's so sad. It's so sad. Like, it's sad. It's sad. Is it sad? Look, Mama-san. She's some of them will beckon you in, and some of them will go and like bark at you. Like I felt like I was on Tatooine and I pissed someone off to some random kind of some weird alien shouted at me. The mama-san is a whole, and then some of the mama-sans are kind of hot, and you're thinking like, could I shag the mama-san, or like will she join in, or will it become some weird kind of fantasy where the mama-san's like coming in when you're banging? I don't know. Who knows? Maybe the mama-san will get involved. Chris Gamble says the mama might be there to flout the law somehow. I mean, it's her that takes the payment for your $300 sandwich that you ordered, right? I see what you mean. And maybe like the girl's not clued up enough. The mum has been around the block. She's like the devouring mother. And she'll sort shit out. She'll take the cash. She'll make sure it's all smooth. The thing is, there's a police station. There's a Koban as it's known. There's a police station, but you don't see any cops around there. So the police are there, but when there's trouble, who sorts it out? I think the Yakuza have got to be involved for some kind of protection, but I don't think the Yakuza run this. I don't think it's like Tokyo where you can see they're involved in shit. Victoria Rockwell says, happy birthday, Johnny. Thank you, Victoria. How you doing, Victoria? She likes it when I scream in her ear. Hello, Victoria. We're looking at prostitutes. Look, it's all dystopian. You've got to see. Look, see that? It's like Star Wars, right? There's some Star Wars kind of character here. Hello. And look, she's kind of cute. It's sad, right? Look, it's like, what's that? A Christmas tree? Hey, Christmas tree, light bulb, come here, Christmas tree. Okay. Look, Hello Kitty blanket. It's all kind of a little bit creepy as well. Look, the mama-san, look. See, some of them are kind of, they're real characters that she slaps her leg. Hey, look. Oh, does she know he's filming? Is she angry? I think she's angry. I don't know. So, see, some of them are weird. Some of the mama-san are weird. I don't know, bruv. I don't know. You had the best timing, Victoria. Nick D says, my Japanese ex-girlfriend's mum would deliberately walk in on me on the bathtub. Are you serious? This is what I'm talking about. All right. See, everyone's... Oh, so look, this guy's got some real footage. Is this... What is this? You actually went inside? Nah, this looks like... This is not it. Alright, let's have a look at this one. 10 orgy stations. So that's where I stayed. I was actually staying pretty close to this. Right, Osaka, very sketchy. So maybe this person walked the same way I did. I really hope so. We can see some... Oh no, this doesn't look like it. Alright, let's have a look. See what he's... Let's see if this guy found any good places. So look, you get the idea. But look, that's kind of science fiction dystopia, right? The neon light with the old stuff and the hanging lantern. He blocked out the faces, this guy. So this was one of the kind of most interesting things I've seen in a long time. I felt the vibes. I felt the vibes. Then you can imagine the bars around here are much kind of grittier and stuff. Yeah, see, look, it's mental. What do you think of that? So I did that. And then after that, I was dead tired. So this week, because I was going to have 2 days on the weekend of partying, I did my 7 days worth of exercise in 5 days, and I haven't done this heavy an exercise in such a short space of time for a while, you lot. So I did a heavy gym session on Sunday. Monday was a break. Tuesday was a pretty hard gym session. Wednesday was a hard 2-hour run. Thursday was a really hard gym session. I never do 3 gym sessions like that in 5 days. And then Friday woke up, did hardcore planks, that did an hour run. It was kind of a mistake. I kind of looked good and feel fresh, but I was dead on Friday. Only slept 4 hours, went out to that pink pepper place, and then the next day I was dead, super tired, did all that, went out. We went to a club. It's called Bambi in Osaka. Now, Bambi, screw you. So Bambi, this is like one of the most trend clubs in Osaka. They know the capacity of the club. They measure every single person. They count every single person that comes in. It's not hard, motherfuckers. If you're going to make that much money day in, day out, there's a certain number, this magic number of customers. When you hit that number, you don't let anyone else in until someone leaves, and then you let someone else in. Simple. These cynical motherfuckers, they let so many people in that club, you could not move. You were getting pushed around, and everyone's kind of drunk and stuff, and everyone's like pushing, and it could easily turn into a fight. I'm not going to get into a fight when I'm 40 years old in a fucking club in Japan, but believe me, I wanted to. It was rammed. And again, it's these cynical businesses. As long as the people don't complain, fuck it, let them in. It's part of the atmosphere. It's all rammed. Dude, this is coming from me, and I've been to so many ram clubs. This was a joke. You could not even stand. So Bambi screwed up. I went to another club called like Pink or something, and it wasn't really that good. But the people in Osaka are cool. They're really friendly, much more open, much more down to earth. I do like Osaka. So that was it. And I visited the castle. I visited Osaka Castle. That was really nice. There's some kind of, and I visited a shrine. That was really nice. That was good. I got a few pictures of stuff like this. That's a torii. That's a nice gate. I did a bit of sightseeing. Visited that castle. Amazing architecture. Very old castle there in Osaka. And yeah, did a lot of sightseeing, a bit of sightseeing as well. And I'm just absolutely knackered. I'm shagged. And I'm ready to sleep. So I'm 40 years old. I made it, everybody. Middle age is beautiful. Level 40. I've been grinding. And here I am, maximum level, ready to cast my spells of success for my prosperity and yours. So thank you for being on this journey all the way. We are just getting started, and we only use our powers of wisdom for good, don't we, MassacreMates? Love you all. Victoria Rockwell says, wow, that's amazing. Can you go inside the castle? Yes, you can, but there was a massive queue and I couldn't be arsed, but I was glad to see it. I was really, really glad to see it. So overall, it's happy days. I've got loads of stuff to do this week. Going to be super busy, but I will be back. Apparently Donald Trump's going to be arrested this week, so there'll be a lot to talk about. And but really, it's all about my birthday today. So let's keep it birthday related, shall we? Yeah, there might be we'll be doing some shows and live streams this week. So make sure you all come to my Sekiro 24-hour/36-hour live stream next Sunday. That is going to be mental. And we're going to try to complete the game in one sitting. Can we do it? We're going to give it our best shot. I'm feeling confident. We've played a game by the same developer, Elden Ring, for 100 hours. So this game apparently can finish in about 32. So not knowing much about it. 36, it's a bit more linear. Hopefully, we're going to be able to do it. I'm going to give it my absolute best shot. Let me link you up. To this live stream. Make sure to be there, my friends. It is starting on the 26th of March, Sunday. And I think it's going to be about 8 p.m. PST. about 8 p.m. PST, about 10 p.m. EST. So don't miss it. That game's hard as fuck, says Slubs. Okay, awesome. That's good. That's going to be entertaining, right? Nick D says, happy birthday, bro. Happy birthday to me. Thank you, Mr. D. Appreciate you very much. This is the link to the 24, 36, 32 hour live stream. I wrote 32. I should write 36. Why am I writing 32? Let's write 36. 36 hours. Can we do that? Yeah, we can do that. We're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. Let's make sure I got nothing on that day. Yeah. Yes, I'll be seeing you then. There's the link. Chris Campbell says 36 hours for Sekiro might actually work out. It's not the colossal world size of Elden Ring. I hope so. Yeah, I read about it. It can be done in around 32 hours. So let's see. Let's give it our best shot, shall we? Right, I'm absolutely knackered, and as I said, I've got loads to do tomorrow. So thank you all for joining me. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. I missed you lot, and I wanted to speak to you when I was out there in Osaka, and I can now. So I am glad and I'm satisfied. Had my Wagyu steak, and I'm just going to have a bit of water and hit the sack. Well deserved sleep. You lot are awesome. Thank you so much for joining me on this landmark level 40, bruv. We did it. I have been Johnny Massacre, and I tell you what, Massacre mates, you better be back for the next cheeky live stream. Otherwise, I'll be coming around your house. Please make sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, because, well, that is what all those other punks tell you to do. Happy birthday, bud, says Slubs. Thank you, Slubs. Latest happy birthday again, says Ellen Cat. Thank you so much. Appreciate you all. See you soon, and good night.